Some exotics are really bad, but you can upgrade them to completely change how they work and make them top tier. So in this video, I'll go over every exotic catalyst you need to get to make your bad exotics OP and how to get them for yourself. I'm Marshix, and Trinity Ghoul's catalyst is game changing. Trinity Ghoul is an arc bow and it can create chain lightning after precision kills. This chain lightning is OP, being able to wipe out dozens of enemies in a single shot. That is good, but you have to continuously get precision kills to keep up the chain lightning, and it can be a little inconsistent since the chain lightning doesn't activate itself. However, with its catalyst, all kills with arc damage will give you lightning rod. This means all kills with Trinity Ghoul, including its lightning, will give you the chain lightning buff. It also triggers off arc abilities, so you can essentially have chain lightning at all times. This makes it the best and easiest to use ad clear weapon in the game. If you're using Trinity Ghoul, you need to get its catalyst, which drops randomly from playlist activities like Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit. Another arc exotic that needs its catalyst is Thunderlord. This is a machine gun that creates lightning with every kill, or after a certain number of shots. This makes it great for ad clear, but the very slow reload speed makes it garbage for boss damage. Well, thanks to the catalyst, that's not a problem anymore, because the lightning bolts created by Thunderlord will partially reload its magazine. This means against bosses, you can shoot for an extremely long amount of time and dump nearly all of your ammo into one target. As you can see, I went this entire damage phase without reloading, and I didn't need help from any other exotics to do that. It's just Thunderlord. The total damage output isn't the highest in the game, but it's up there, and this is extremely easy to use since you don't need to do any weird tricks to maximize damage. Just like Trinity Ghoul, this catalyst is a random drop from Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit, so you'll just need to get lucky. Two-tailed Fox. This is a rocket launcher that shoots 2 rockets at a time. A solar rocket that applies Scorch, and a void rocket that suppresses enemies. For the longest time, this exotic was garbage, and literally everyone agreed that it needed a catalyst that gave it a third arc rocket to complete the trio. Well, I guess Bungie also agreed, and we got just that. This now shoots 3 rockets per shot, and the arc rocket now jolts whatever it hits. This makes it really strong for boss damage, since you're getting the damage of 3 rockets and applying 3 debuffs each time you shoot. Fair warning though, if multiple people use this at a time, only one person gets the debuffs, so try to use only one per team. And the way you get this catalyst is by running Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit. I'm starting to see a pattern here. The next catalyst takes a mediocre exotic in PvE and gives it a ton of ammo from thin air. Cloud Strike. Rapid precision hits create a lightning storm. This will deal a fair amount of damage to anything it hits, and you can get this to activate a couple times per magazine. However, its catalyst will give it triple tap. Every 3 shots, you get 1 ammo returned to your magazine. This is free ammo, not from your reserves. This significantly increases your total damage output since it allows you to shoot 10 times per 7-round magazine, getting 3 free shots worth of damage and creating more lightning storms more often. Now, I'm not saying this is amazing for DPS, but it's a solid option if you can hit all your crits, and one minor buff could easily push this into the meta. Cloud Strike is a rare drop from the end of Empire hunts, but like I said, you will need the catalyst for this to be worth using, and the way you get that is once again a random drop from Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. Another catalyst that gives you an absurdly large magazine is Osteostriga. This is an SMG that spreads poison with every kill. Decent for ad clear, but its catalyst raises it to a new level. Poison final blows return ammo to the magazine. Now, that description is a little misleading. Not only does it refill the magazine, but it actually overfills it by a lot. By default, Osteo can hold 27 rounds, but with the catalyst and a few kills, you can quadruple its magazine size, getting over 100 rounds at a time and keeping a steady flow of ammo coming in. You never have to reload this thing, and it even has synergy with Necrotic Grip, allowing you to spread more poison, and you can use your melee to overfill Osteo. It's so much fun. Osteo benefits so much from this catalyst, so it's definitely a must-have. Unlike the previous weapons, this catalyst is not a random drop, but you will need to work towards it by leveling up your Osteo and reshaping it with a catalyst. I also believe you need to own the Witch Queen Deluxe Edition to be able to do so. This next weapon is a fan favorite, but it's kind of trash without its catalyst. Outbreak Perfected. Precision final blows and sustained precision hits will create Siva nanites that stick to enemies and deal damage. The more nanites on a target, the more damage Outbreak does to them. But with its catalyst, the nanites will do even more damage, and when you kill an enemy with nanites attached, those nanites will move to the next target. This makes it so much better for both aspects of the gun. more damage for larger targets, and more nanites for better ad clear. This is a significant upgrade from the original. This catalyst used to be tied to a mission, but now you simply just buy the gun from the tower kiosk, and you get the catalyst randomly from the end of Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit. This next catalyst is very simple, but extremely good. Malfeasance. This is a 180 hand cannon that creates taken explosions every 5 shots. It also has built-in Unstoppable, which makes it great for champions. However, against champions and bosses, the damage is kinda low since it is a hand cannon. But with the catalyst, it now has Vorpal Weapon. On primaries, this is a 20% damage buff against all bosses. That's a huge increase, especially since it's active all the time. Then you just pair that with Lucky Pants, and you can basically turn Malfeasance into a heavy weapon. I'm not even joking. I soloed an entire dungeon using only Malfeasance. And you probably guessed it, this catalyst can only drop from Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit. Up next is a weapon that got multiple buffs and is now a top tier option for DPS. Legend of Acreus. This is a heavy shotgun, and that's pretty much it. But with its catalyst, it gets much more interesting. By default, it can hold 4 shots, but the catalyst will raise that to 6, and it gives it Trench Barrel. Whenever you melee an enemy, this weapon's damage will increase by 50% for the next 3 shots. You have to get up close to use a shotgun anyway, so this is really easy to activate, and it adds a ton of damage. Just punch going into an encounter, then shoot 3 times, then punch again to reactivate Trench Barrel, and then shoot again. Without this catalyst, Acreus would never be used. And finally, a catalyst that doesn't drop from playlist activities. Instead, it drops from Nightfalls, which are basically playlist activities. Izanagi's Burden. This is a sniper rifle that allows you to condense your magazine into one really powerful shot. Pretty straightforward. But once you have its catalyst, the damage of the honed edge shot will be equivalent to 5 shots rather than 4, meaning this does 25% more damage per shot, and you have a lot more total damage across the entire magazine. Simple, but a must-have catalyst that drops from Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit. Another sniper that relies heavily on its catalyst is Whisper of the Worm. This is a heavy sniper rifle that refills its magazine from reserves after every 3 precision hits. So if you're good with this weapon, you basically never have to reload. If you have the catalyst, aiming down sights for a couple seconds will give you a buff called Whispered Breathing. This will increase the damage of Whisper while you remain in this state. So if you hit all your crits, this can last for your entire magazine as you dump everything you have into a boss. As always, more damage is good, and this is simple to use and very effective. The way you get this catalyst is from Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit. Who would have guessed? Sleeper Simulant, the hardest hitting linear fusion. This has a catalyst that improves its damage per second, as well as total damage. It gains a faster fire rate, so you can shoot more often, and it gets more ammo in the reserves, which obviously means you can fire more shots. It's not a very flashy catalyst, but if you're using Sleeper, you definitely need the catalyst to get the most out of it. And the way you get the catalyst is by completing Nightfalls. Just like Sleeper's faster fire rate, something else that's really fast is leaving a like on the video if you're enjoying it. It really helps me out. Next up is Witherhoard. This grenade launcher deals damage over time to whatever it hits, so you can shoot something with Witherhoard, then swap to another weapon to deal damage with both weapons at once. That's really nice, but the problem is you still have to reload it once you swap back. However, the catalyst removes that problem by giving it auto-loading holster. Now you can apply damage over time, swap to your heavy weapon for a couple seconds, then swap back to Witherhoard to reapply the damage over time, and keep that going constantly in the background for extra damage. Now, the way you get this catalyst is by doing a quest from the gunsmith. If you don't see it here, you might want to check your quest archive. Gjallarhorn, the most iconic rocket launcher in all of gaming. This has a catalyst that makes it even better than it used to be. By itself, it shoots tracking rockets that explode into Wolfpack rounds, also tracking down enemies and dealing more damage. But once you unlock its catalyst, this will get 2 rockets in the magazine, and kills with Gjallarhorn will create faster and more powerful Wolfpack rounds. This catalyst essentially makes it shoot twice as fast and gives it even better ad clear potential. Honestly, without the catalyst, Gjallarhorn is kinda mid, but with the catalyst, this is one of the most popular, fun to use, strongest weapons in the game, and if you don't have this, you're absolutely missing out. To get the catalyst, you must first have Gjallarhorn and find 3 secret chests inside the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. Now, before you can use your catalyst, you'll need to get hundreds or sometimes thousands of kills And in this video, I'll show you how to do that really fast. So check it out. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.